my way, you better move, boy. I don't ever miss a cue like schoolboy. Ain't no telling what I'ma do, boy. Ha, 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 ha. I bet you thought you had me figured out, but nah, 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 nah. I'm way too unpredictable. I'm so freaking dope, I make you flick your nose. I got tricks up my sleeve like here's a rose. Whoa, it should be evident. I am so elegant and focused on getting M's, cause I couldn't get the Letterman back then. But now we moving up like the Jeffersons. I can't quit now, cause if I do, I won't get severance. This year I'm trying to be one with the elements and stay away from vibrations that I shouldn't meddle in. I'm shocked, they do not relish in the present tense. Must have forgot that I'm hot and I'm heaven sent. What's a trend? I don't give a damn about being relevant, but then again, I'm trying to be the light with all this melanin. How can I go this hard and still be considered a gentleman? No, I ain't normal, me indifferent are synonyms. New year, new me, who are you, boy? If you're in my way, you better move, boy. I don't ever miss a cue like schoolboy. Ain't no telling what I'ma do, boy. Ha, 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 ha. I bet you thought you had me figured out, but nah, 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 nah. I'm way too unpredictable. You can keep the dough, I'ma keep my soul. They tryna butter me up, cause I've been on a roll. No roadhouse, I can make it hot when it's cold out. Slow it down, I'ma stand still, strike a pose now. Became one with the elements, you all exposed now. Even the chemical brothers say I'm under control now. Curtis said death is wished upon me by many men. When you in the hood, you die easier than Kenny them. Some don't have a vision, I wish I could lend a lens to them. Some don't listen to truth, I wish that I could lend an ear to them. Some people scared to chase a dream. I guess failure put the fear in them, but I'ma still try to cheer for them. I'ma still be here for them. I'ma try to make a path clear for them, cause once I make it, you won't see me shed a tear for them. New year, new me, who are you, boy? If you're in my way, you better move, boy. I don't ever miss a cue like schoolboy. Ain't no telling what I'ma do, boy. Ha, 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 ha. I bet you thought you had me figured out, but nah, 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 nah. I'm way too unpredictable.
Hello, welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast, and the song you were just listening to is our brand new theme song for the podcast, and by an artist by the name of Norman San. And thank you very much, Norman, for letting us use that song for our podcast. And for you, those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, we are the Tech Disruptors. My name is Darren, that is Jason, in the top half of the screen, and we like to talk tech, and we're joined by a lovely few people in the chat here today. We've got Kaya, we've got King, we've got Septon. How's it going, guys? Appreciate you guys joining us on our episode number 3 of 2024.
Wow, King couldn't join us on the screen. I'm hoping with the keyboard there, he's gonna light up the comments there and let us know what he thinks.
Yes, 100%. And we've got a lot to talk about this week. And it's been a huge week. Like, it ended with deep fake porn of Taylor Swift, and it begun with the release of the OnePlus 12, all of which we're going to be talking about.
And I got my S24 Ultra.
Yes, and of course, the S24 Ultra, which we will also touch on and keep going with, and have a look at just what people's initial impressions are. I know it's only been about a week since people had it in their hands, so we can jump into that. We've also got, believe it or not, probably 8 months before we normally have a Pixel release. We've got Pixel 9 renders, which is very impressive. And also
our theme song, those renders are hot. They really are.
Absolutely.
They look good.
Yes. And listen, if you really appreciate the song from Norman San there, the song's called New Year, New Me. Reach out to Norman and say, hey, man, we love it. You're amazing. Thanks for supporting the Tech Disruptors podcast, and we would appreciate it.
Yeah, check him out on Instagram. He's got a website. He's got merch. I mean, go support him.
Spotify albums, the whole lot. Yeah. He's the real deal. So, again, our brand new theme song for Tech Disruptors. I know, right? Theme song. We're like leveling up, man. It's like going from step to step here. I love it.
Well, I made a theme song initially, but we tested it out. It didn't work with the demographic that we work with.
It's true. I mean, that was also just you humming. So it was. We needed some lyrics in there. But yes. So let's actually start in the world of Google for a second, because just yesterday, they released a new device. New device, you say, from Google? What could it possibly be? So, we were very fortunate to get a brand new Pixel 8 and 8 Pro in some regions in green,
Double
in
mint green.
lovely, minty, delicious green. Now, I actually really like the color that they released here. And I know colors don't mean anything to some people, and people are like, what the fuck? Why are we even talking about this?
Right.
But there's something about a new color that just gives the whole line a refresh. And I almost wonder, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find the perfect image here.
Well,
One second.
while you're looking for the picture, my
Yeah.
feeling is I don't like when they do this stuff because the phone's been out for a while, and great, it's
Yes.
a great phone. Don't get me wrong, but this is a Apple move. Remember the banana phone?
It is.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
You're re-releasing a phone with a new color. And what's funny is on Twitter, I don't know if you saw this. I think it was Dalvon or maybe he reposted it. You can go to like any of those skin companies that
Yeah.
D-brand and they make the mint skin. So if you want the mint phone, just go buy the skin and you're good to
Yeah.
go. I appreciate the new color, but it's not, and unless you're not already owning one of these devices, maybe it would swing you, but I can't imagine a color of a phone is going to swing people.
Well, I haven't seen the Pixel 8 Pro in mint. I've only seen the 8, and in Canada here they're only selling the Pixel 8 in mint. They didn't bring the green colorway to the Pro series here.
Man, you guys in Canada get the shaft a lot, don't you?
I know, fucking, we can't even get colors. I mean, I know, yeah. But I mean, it's an interesting move by Google, bringing a new color at the same week that the OnePlus 12 released their fancy green phone, and the S24 Ultra also has a greenish option, I believe, is
Well,
one of their custom colors.
A lot of people have been tying this into this big January
Dry
update.
January.
No, the January update. The January update where you're supposed to get the circle to search
Yes.
and all that stuff. And I got the January security patch, but I have not got this huge update they're talking about. So
Me
I'm
either.
not really sure.
I'm still waiting on it as well. I did check just yesterday to see if it came through. Nothing yet. I'm on the January security update as well. Haven't received any circle to search. I almost wonder, and I know we talked about this last week. I know Samsung had their big S24 Ultra release, and a big feature, a big marketed feature of the S24 Ultra was circle search to search.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know Google, I wonder if the agreement was with Google to just say, you know what, we'll let you have it for now. But just so you know, we are bringing this to the Pixel as well. Or maybe they knew that was getting brought to the Pixel, so Samsung reached out to Google and said, hey, we need some kind of like googly feature to throw in our phone. What do you got?
Okay, so I did a quick video and I unboxed the S24 this afternoon. And
Yes.
I was looking at some of the AI features, and it's already done. Like, Google already does most of it.
Yeah.
And they even say a lot of the stuff is done in the cloud if it's not able to be done on the phone. So, again, it's not a surprise. Apple and Google holding hands. Again, Google is a software company. This makes perfect sense because who's the most popular Android manufacturer in the world? It's Samsung. So if they put their
Yes.
software on there, and they may rename it, they may not. Hell, half the time they don't even rename this stuff anymore. But I mean, it's amazing to me. I'd rather have Samsung pushing Google's message forward than the Pixel. Now, I love Pixel phones. They're just not big enough right now. And I
Yeah.
don't think they ever will be just because it's more of a, what is it? It's like the Nexus line. It's like their
An
reference to that.
enthusiast.
Yeah.
It's an enthusiast
well,
device.
maybe- well, yeah, I guess. But I've only had the S24 for 3 hours, if that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't had a Samsung device since the Fold 4, and I sold that probably 6 months ago. I would say I'm actually pretty impressed. It's pretty smooth. Again, it's only been 3 hours. The camera,
Yeah.
I took a few shots. I mean, they're good. Everyone thinks,
Yeah.
oh, it's not as good as the iPhone. Anyways, I'm getting off track. But basically, yeah, I mean, this phone this color coincides with this big January release that now that Samsung and Google both share these software things or whatever.
Well, it's funny. You know, one of the things that I thought was very ungoogly, and this actually caught my attention, I think, more than the actual
Ungoogly.
phone. Ungoogly. I was actually surprised by the marketing material. So this is very un-Google-like marketing. And like we know that, I always kind of describe Google's aesthetic as being very clean and minimalistic,
Yeah,
right? Like
right.
from the phone to the website to everything. But yet this looked a little bit like street art, and I dig it. I actually think it brought a little bit of a vibe to it, some freshness to the Pixel just persona. And I saw this and I was like, I thought someone had just fucking Microsoft painted it. Like it's like I honestly, that's what I thought. But then when I looked more into it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a cool idea to have like a new colorway, but let's try to give it some spunk. Let's try to give it some fire.
Well, we already made a mistake because we shouldn't even have shown this because he says it's only 128 gigabyte.
Well, I mean, that doesn't bother most people in the world, but I know Septian just said it's based on a Mexican street artist. That's why, thank you for clarifying.
I'm going to agree with you, Darren. I think this is a genius marketing move. And I think that's what's making Google so much better. Their marketing is good, but it's like under radar, like good. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain. So, Apple goes out there and they're pretty much putting a bunch of hipsters on there and saying, oh, let's dance around it with your phone. But Google's just like, it's not rocket science. You're like, hey, take a picture. You can erase some stuff. And they literally show it. And to me, I'm like, this is stupid. Why are they talking about it? But the average consumer wants to see that stuff. So.
Yeah. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, whether Google wants to admit it or not, they have to go for this younger, more hip persona because that's the kids who are buying phones. And if we look at the iPhone market, for example, most young people coming out with an iPhone, they're leaving an Apple store with a regular iPhone in their hand usually. But even and like Septian just kind of said it here too about like Google partnering with the NBA, like that's huge. Like even in the advertising, it was massive. And I think that's really where Google's can maybe make a change is just by getting young people on board. And I know with a lot of their marketing that they've done for the Pixel line this year, especially, we're seeing that more. We're seeing them going after a youthful audience with new colors, looking for new ways to impress people. I dig it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually Google who leaked the alleged Google Pixel 9
release. Past the 7, the 6, all of them. It's actually really smart because look at us. We're talking about it. We're in the tech realm, and we're pushing things forward.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, and I know Dan just mentioned about them also supporting football clubs in the Premier League.
Hold on, football. So is this
soccer?
We call soccer.
Soccer, yes, correct. Britain doesn't have a football league.
Figure it out.
They have a soccer league. No, I'm agree with Dan. Dan,
no,
I'm
it's called soccer, 100%.
100% with you. So them getting on board with the NBA, them getting on board with the Premier League, like that's two massive groups of audiences that are mostly young people, between the ages of 18 to 35 or younger, maybe even younger than that. That's huge. So I think that's the play. I dig this vibe. I dig the street art, graffiti, the unusual marketing. I love that they didn't do some cheesy commercial for it. It was just someone coming out, doing this and going, yep, this is the play.
It's good. I agree. It's a beautiful marketing technique. And I think is it going to sell? Probably not. But this just shows you that Google's investing heavily. And when the 9 comes out. Someone mentioned that the 9 kind of looked like the iPhone, older style iPhone. And you know what? This is a render. Will it look like this 100%? Probably not. And I hope it doesn't have shiny rails because those were scratched terribly like the iPhone. But I actually like it. I like the rounded edges. I like the boxy design. I think it looks good.
So this week, for those of you who are unfamiliar in the tech space, just talking about Google here, not only did we get a new color, but we also got some alleged, we should say, Pixel 9 renders. So Pixel 9 the Pixel's always had a beautiful design with that camera bar across back. It's become very iconic now over the last 3 generations of Pixel. But these new renders that you're seeing up on screen now do have a little bit of an iPhone-y kind of look. I get it. But here is the question I want to ask you. Is that on purpose? Because at the end of the day, if you don't capture young people, you're not going to sell phones. So by having a phone that resembles an iPhone but is in the Android world, is that a way for a young person who maybe can't afford an iPhone or doesn't want an iPhone to say, well, I've got something that's just as good, and it looks like your phone, it acts like your phone, it's as fast or if not faster than your phone.
No,
What do you think?
I disagree. I don't think that anybody, any kid, if they want an iPhone, they're going to know this isn't an iPhone. I think this is a render. I don't think this is going to be 100% what it's going to look like. I can't imagine they're going to put shiny rails. I don't know. My thing is I had a conversation with a coworker today about iPhones and Androids. And this young lady is just pretty much says, I don't care. My dad's got a Samsung. I've got an iPhone. I don't really know what Samsung does anymore, but the cheap phones, because that's what sells the most. They don't sell their we know the flagships. But she said she's like 25, so she's relatively young, and she said she doesn't care about the color of the bubble.
Yeah.
Now this is one person in a sea of millions, and I'm in a rural part of Ohio that probably is an outlier. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a beautiful design. I like it. Whether it looks like an iPhone or not, I don't really care, because the biggest difference between Android and iOS isn't design, it's the software. So
well, and that's really what it is, right? And I know like someone had posted it was a render. It's this image here. 1 second. So someone had picked a render of this, which again, I allegedly is a white version of the Pixel 9. A little bit like that. Now, I almost wonder, because if I just go back to the previous image, this one here. So there's, let me rewind. If you think about the Pixel Fold for a second, it reminds me a lot of the back of a Pixel Fold, but not the back of a Pixel 8.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah, because if you remember on the Pixel Fold, it had this kind of like separate, isolated camera bar, which they're known for, and it didn't have the same kind of. I
don't have my Fold with me right now. It's upstairs. I would have shown it, but I get what you're saying.
So I almost wonder if they might lean into this design because of they want to have some parity now between the design of the Pixel Fold and the Pixel 9. I actually don't even think it's going to be called the Pixel 9.
What do you mean? What do you think it's going to be? Oh, here we go. Conspiracies. Let's hear it.
So notoriously, companies tend to avoid the number 9 because in some cultures, especially in Asia, the number 9 is considered to be an unlucky number. So I almost wonder if they might just go Pixel 10, like Dan just nailed in the thing there. Because if you think about it, think about the iPhone. We'll look at the history of the iPhone. Skipped number 9, went to X.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
If you think back to the only exception that I can remember that where the 9 was actually used was actually in the Samsung Note 9. But that's a Korean company. Okay. So a little slightly different kind of scenario there. But it's very common for companies to skip 9 because it is considered an unlucky number in some cultures, not all. And there are examples like the Zenfone 9 and stuff like that where there is exceptions to the rule. But I don't know. Pixel 5th. How many years have we got Pixel now? 10 years?
Look, I love Pixel phones. You're not 10 years.
Is it? I think it might be. If you can't go back, maybe not generation.
Right. I kind of blurred over 3 through 5 because they were kind of like all over the place design wise, and now they finally kind of nailed down a design. My thing is I don't know. I mean, I get the name change maybe, but you're right. I don't know any. Well, the Zenfone 10, and that's a Chinese brand, so maybe that's 9, 10. I don't know. Was there? Yeah, there was a Zenfone 9.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Again, there are exceptions to the rule,
I don't
right?
want Google to follow Apple's lead. Do your own damn thing. That's what we need to do. Samsung does for the most part.
One thing I will say, and we'll just kind of just skip off of the Pixel topic really quickly, but I will just say it is weird for us to have leaks this early. Now,
Uh,
that's either a good thing or a bad thing. Like the good thing could be this legitimately is the design, and we just had someone's leaked the fucking. It's gone. It's out there. Or it's a classic deceptive move, right?
what
Where
do you
they
mean?
go, so we're going to release the renders of what it's not going to look like, so that when we actually get
Right.
to the release date, we might actually surprise you this year. And maybe this will be the year that Google gets its shit together and actually doesn't have the cookies given to the kids before the actual release date. So,
And it's
um,
funny, Grounded Tech, Dan, I should say,
yeah, Dan, yeah,
says, you know, with the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the 15 Pro are generally similar devices except for size. It'd be
yes,
nice to see Google do the same thing, but on the flip side of that is the Pixel 8 Pro. There's a price difference,
yes,
and I don't know if we have for profit margins. Obviously, their business they have to do something, but I don't know. You're right. It
it's
just either way, whether this is fake or not, I'm assuming this is fake. I don't think this is what it's going to look like. I really don't. I think it's too far fetched, but
yeah,
it's getting us talking about it. Someone pushed the
yes,
button and said,
exactly.
"Hey, release this thing. Let's get it going." Because now we're talking about it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? And I mean, maybe this is Google just going, here's a little teaser. Here's just a little bit
Right.
of what's coming. And obviously, the timing just happens to be appropriate because you've got two massive phones just released this week. You got the
Yep.
OnePlus 12, you got the S24 Ultra. It can't be coincidence. It just
Yeah,
can't
they
be.
don't want to get lost in the sea of phones, and that's the problem with Android. There's so many getting released, and you and me have
Yeah,
talked about this. It's like exhausting and
it is. Yeah.
obviously bank draining.
Yes, yes, well, very much so. Yes, I mean, listen, I've already had to sell one of my kidneys, and then I sold the other one. I can't see what that says.
Okay,
Sorry.
so I didn't get this feature update, but I've just opened up. If you look at that 9 render, we don't have to pull it back up.
Yeah.
There's still a temperature sensor on it. Well, I
Ah.
pulled up my thermometer app on my 8 Pro, and it does now. It says measure your own or someone else's body
Yes, the
temperature.
temperature. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
I thought that was part of that feature drop, like with the circle to whatever, but it's not. It's actually a separate app, so they updated it. So I'm excited about that. Does it sound
yeah.
stupid? Yeah, but my kid's sick. Instead of looking for a thermometer, I can pull it out and get a quick reading. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's accurate. But yeah,
Well, I believe it's only in the United States right now. Like I haven't checked mine. Mine's just sitting up on the shelf over
well,
there.
you guys get the shaft. We already know that. I mean,
Well, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's only because I think the only reason is because of the FDA clearance that you got that allegedly has
correct,
to
correct, correct.
happen.
And
Here in Canada,
you
we
just
don't have
saw
anything
this.
like that. Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
You
Yes,
just
I
saw
was
that,
just
yeah.
I
You were
just
looking.
was
I know
about to
you were
pull
looking.
it
I
up.
could tell you were typing for it.
Yeah. So
Are you excited about
it's-
A? Let me ask you a question. Do you get excited about the A series?
I don't, but I also kind of do, and I'll explain what I mean. Like the Pixel A series always brings incredible value and is always
Yeah.
a winner in blind camera tests, especially at the end of the year. So I'm excited to see like what they do to kind of bring it up to speed.
Sure.
I mean, all we have here literally is a picture of the box, and I'll share this.
And it looks like
Uh,
a Pixel phone.
and it does. It looks like a Pixel phone. So I mean, there is the alleged Pixel 8a. It looks a lot like the 7a,
And it's
just a
gonna.
little more rounded.
And I'm gonna assume it's gonna have the Tensor G3.
Yes.
And according to Google, they're already on the G4, working on that for the next. Obviously, it's probably already done.
Yeah.
And that's the last chip that they're gonna make with
Yes.
Samsung's manufacturing, and then they're gonna switch
Yes.
with the 5. I don't know. Do you think Google's going up against the wall here? Do you think are they pulling the long? I mean, Apple did this for years, and they finally
Yeah.
nailed it and got it right. Is Google going down the right path? I don't know. We're going off topic here, but
No, I almost think they've already done it. I think they've got it, and it's just a matter of time. So I almost feel like they've figured it out. They've got their own, or the company that they're talking with that's going to be generating manufacturing it has already gone. We've got this. Don't worry. Just play it out. Sell some units. Save. Try to get some stuff sold.
Well, they
And
develop years in advance, so they can't just like scrap it. That's millions and billions of dollars. But the reason why I asked you that question is because I posted something on X, a poll, and I never checked the update, but what the results were. But I said with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and the AI NeuroCore or whatever they're calling it,
yes,
does Google Tensor even matter anymore? That's the question.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying the Tensor is not good for AI. It obviously is, but the 8 Gen 3 is made by Qualcomm, who's making chips a hell of a lot longer. So I don't know. And I didn't look at the results, but initially, a couple hours after I posted it, most people said the Snapdragon was more powerful. But who actually has an 8 Gen 3 anyways?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not. It's not going to be Snapdragon. It just won't be. It won't be Snapdragon that's getting used in a Pixel device. I don't think ever again. I actually think it's going to be MediaTek. And I said this to you last week, and I think maybe in the week before. I honestly feel like MediaTek is what they're going to end up landing on. And it'll be just a blend. They'll bring it into the fold. I think they might still call it Tensor.
Oh, yeah, of course they would.
Yeah, because it would be them conceding otherwise. And
they trademarked it, copyrighted it, I'm sure. You might as well spend the money. You might as well keep it.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah. I'm just looking. So something just caught my eye here. I don't know if you noticed that. If you look at the box on the right-hand side, it says it looks like a charger with a line through it. But then there's a picture of a charger next to it.
And I'm not sure what that.
I don't know.
Mean, that's a European. That looks like a European plug, maybe. Is that what? I can't tell.
I have no idea.
Okay, come on. If they're not going to include a charger with the 8, they're not going to put one of the 8A. I mean, come on. Is that what you're insinuating?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking. Maybe I'm just calling bullshit on this and saying maybe this is not what the Pixel 8 is going to be. I don't know. This could easily be a fake, right? I mean, we're in the age of AI.
Well, like I said before with the 9, people are leaking this stuff out because Google knows they're in the minimum. I mean, they're not selling phones like Samsung, Apple, or even Motorola probably, obviously. So they're getting their name out there. Let's throw some leaks out there. Let's get people talking. And look, you brought it up, and now we're talking.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Well, the reason I say that is because the other big story, speaking of AI, and we will come back to Samsung, was actually an AI first, I believe. So
before you go into the story, everyone who's listening in, please don't search for this right away. Listen to the story first.
Yes. So, okay. So late last week, in fact, just yesterday, there was a huge story hit all over social media about Taylor Swift. And basically, someone had generated AI porn images of her doing horrible things. And she wasn't very happy about it. And so basically the Swiftie fans out there lost their shit, took to X, and it was verbally expressing their disgust. And Taylor Swift has come out basically and has said that she's going to try to pursue.
Sorry, I'm watching the comments. People are searching. I already searched.
Yes. So
well, here's the part you didn't hear about in the story.
Yes.
He is dating the Kansas City Chiefs tight end, Travis Kelce. And he has come out and said, I will kick anybody's ass who No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that.
Well, I mean, when you said tight end there, I had 1,000,001 jokes ready.
I know. That's why I kept moving real quick. I didn't want you to jump in there.
But, just having a look here. So basically, a number of AI-generated images of Taylor Swift were seen millions of times on X, apparently, including one viral post from a verified user that accumulated 45 million views and 24,000 reposts before it was taken down and the user was suspended.
So I got a question. So we're obviously running a live stream podcast.
Yes.
To increase our viewage, I'm going to find this photo and
post
it at the beginning of every episode. So
we're going to play our brand new theme song, and we're going to have the image of Taylor Swift, the AI-generated porn image of Taylor Swift.
That won't get us in trouble at all, would it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, just talking about this might get us in trouble, but
that's true.
Now, the funny thing is, and this always makes me laugh because we saw this with the fappening. I don't know if you remember the fappening from a couple of years ago
Yes,
when a whole
yeah.
bunch of celebrities, iCloud images got released.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that I think almost every single person does when they read this story is they go, Google X,
Yep.
Taylor Swift images. And I did the same. And I'm not ashamed to admit that because I honestly knew we were going to be talking about this. I knew it would be a topic that we'd be talking about on a podcast about tech. But my question is, and I know she's come out and said she's going to pursue legal action.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. Yes, it's an image of her, maybe her face, maybe her whatever, but it's largely a fake image,
Correct.
which means it's not real. And the whole definition of fake is it not being real. So my question is, besides the defamation of character angle in law, has she really got a ground here for legal action?
This is a huge can of worms that people who are attacking AI have not addressed or are trying to address. And I
Yes.
think you got a good point. It's not a real image,
Yes.
but it is defamation of character, I guess, technically, which can get her a hell of a lot of money, which she really needs, of course. She really needs it. And I don't think for her it's about the money. I
Yes.
100% think it is defamation. That's embarrassing. Little kids, a lot. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, and this might make me lose viewers. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all. I don't listen to her music. I'm sure she's a fine person, and I hate when they watch Kansas City Chiefs games and they always zoom to her, which is not her fault. But
Yeah.
as popular as she is, and how many eyes are always on her, including NFL games now, she
Yes.
has every right to be upset. But legally,
100%.
I don't know what she can do. Defamation. Does she know who did it? Do we know
No.
who did it? So how the hell are you gonna? I mean,
I mean, look,
that's a rabbit
said,
hole I would not want to go down. And it's happened to me, as popular as I am. And,
yes.
and there was this AI generated porn of me, and I just let it go.
Yeah.
It got.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I downloaded it like a million times. But sorry, just almost made him choke.
That explains a picture you sent me earlier.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
That came out totally wrong. Everyone just ignore the last
Ignore
15
that message.
seconds.
So one of the things, I've lost my train of thought now. As soon as you brought that image, I was like, I can't even function anymore. For context and for reference here, I'm currently reviewing the Find X7 Ultra, and I sent Jason a low light image of a bottle of moisturizing cream. So
Lotion.
he's yes, it's of lotion.
Yes.
And that's the reference there. But anyway, speaking of AI, the S24 Ultra finally had its started making its way into people's hands this week. And you are one of the lucky ones who received it. So I wanted to
before you go any further, I tried to cancel this. I tried to cancel.
Yes.
2 days ago, and they said already shipping. We can't cancel. And I'm kind of glad I didn't because it's actually a pretty decent device. Again, I've had it for a short period of time. But continue.
So I did cancel mine. I will probably get my hands on it at some point, but I mean, it's a surgeon. But so the big Samsung S24 Ultra, we talked about this last week, was released. It's made its way into people's hands. Now, my impression, and I posted this up on X the other day, and the impression that I got from maybe the first couple of days of using the device was that a lot of people say it's a good phone, but I haven't really heard anybody say it's a great phone. Now, I'm kind of curious as to the reason why that is.
Oh, I could tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I shouldn't say I could tell you. Here's my opinion. I haven't used a Samsung device in probably, like I said, the Fold 4, sorry. It's been at least 6 months or more. So I think when you don't use a device for a long time and you go back to it, you realize how beautiful that screen is, how good the cameras really are. They might not be the best cameras, but they're very versatile and they're good. The software is buttery smooth. It's got upgraded, memory, all that stuff. If you're coming from an S23 Ultra, you're going to be bored. it's the same damn thing. And the S23 Ultra is probably going to get all the same AI smarts according to Samsung. Now, some older
Yeah.
ones, and when I made my video, I even said if you have the S22 and the S23, maybe not upgrade, but even the S22, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is enough for battery efficiency. And I've watched a ton of videos of people emulating video games, playing games, and it's a hell of a lot faster than last generations if you play games. To me, it's a decent device. It's really good.
Yeah.
But again, my last Samsung device has been 6 months, and even when I had it 6 months ago, I wasn't using it on a regular basis. So to me, it's like, holy crap! I forgot how good Samsung was. Threw on my old Classic 6,
6, yep.
which has been sitting on a shelf, and it really, you realize how well Samsung has this ecosystem going. Nothing
Yeah.
against Google, because the Pixel Watch and the Pixel are great, but the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is a hell of a nice processor, and Samsung works with Windows. I mean,
Yes.
everything just works. And the 820 or the S23 was phone of the year for most people. And this phone
Yeah.
coming out at the beginning of the year, and if it stays relevant, I think they got a hit on their hands. Is it the best phone ever? That depends on who you use. So
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, we always get, this always happens at the beginning of every year. And you know, like Matty here said, he's got his Cine, he's dropped the iPhone for now, keeps on becoming more and more polished. And, you know, listen, Matt, you would be one of many people who do the same thing every year. They buy the Samsung S line at the beginning in January, and by September, when the iPhone comes out, they're back on the iPhone, or sometimes even sooner. And, you know, I think it was technically T. He mentioned this last year. He posted, I can't wait for people to start making those I'm going back to my iPhone videos. And I also think this year he wouldn't be wrong. I think that's a fair statement. I think for a lot of people, I mean, it's cool, nice processor. Cameras have a little bit of an upgrade and a change. But largely speaking, it's the same phone. And that's what we've been getting from a lot of these manufacturers the last couple of days. Last couple of years. So
well,
there was an
iPhone's the
article.
same way.
But exactly, but this
is
is what I'm getting at, and there's there's double standards here.
Yep.
Now, you know, the iPhone could come out and make as many iterative changes as they want, but people are still going to buy it, and there are lots of people who will go and buy a Samsung, the S line, because of those iterative changes. Like I said, for the most part, a lot of people have been saying, "Hey, it's a good phone."
Mm-hmm.
But I've yet to see anybody go, "Oh my God, I'm blown away. This is going to be my next daily driver, and I'm going to sell all my Apple devices." I haven't seen that not even once on social media yet. Right. I've even seen a few reviews like this one you see on screen now from Android Police, which was basically saying, yeah, last year's phone is pretty good. You really don't need this one. And, you know, one of the things that they mention on their thing here is they talk about the pros and cons. So, you know, the pros and cons, I always look at pros and cons in these reviews because it always makes me interesting about what they're kind of pointing out. Now, a lot of people, and I've seen this a lot, is the price. And I think the biggest justification for maybe not purchasing the S24 Ultra, if you weren't trading in, I should mention,
Correct.
is the price, right? I mean, $1,300, that's a chunk of change.
Yeah, but you took out the trade-in part. So let's say you have the S23 Ultra and it's paid off, or well, some people trade it even, it's not paid off, and you get what they give $1,000 for it. I think moving to the next year's phone for $300 is
a deal, yeah.
Because it's not just about the iterative updates, which are good. The camera's great; it's better now, supposedly. The faster processor, the better memory, all that stuff. Better screen, flat screen, not rounded, if that's what you prefer.
Yeah.
But it's the updates. So now you added another year of security updates and OS updates, which, if that means something to you, it's important. So that's just my understanding. I mean, that's how I think about it. I didn't trade in. I didn't have anything to trade in. So Darren paid for it for me because he's money bags over there. So
sure, yeah. I'm living in my mom's basement apartment. I'm just kidding. I think one of the things that I've seen a lot of people talk about is the use of titanium. And I know this is a bit of a copycat move from Samsung. But my question is, a lot of people said that use of titanium didn't really shave much weight off the phone. Now, I remember the S23 Ultra being hefty, a little bit weighty. But I almost wonder if they had played it a little differently, Samsung, and they had created a notably lighter device, but still maintained the big size of the phone, would consumers have been more satisfied? Because I almost feel like that sold a lot of iPhone 15 units this year by it being a lot lighter than the previous iteration.
It's lighter. I could tell you it's lighter, but I don't think it's lighter. Like, oh my god, I can't. It's so much.
Because for the
I don't
iPhone,
like
for
light
me,
phones. I like a little bit of heft in my phones, personally.
I'll be honest with you, for the iPhone 15, for me, it was a huge night and day difference between like the 14 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max. Like there was like a good 25 grand shaved off. That was a huge difference. I used to find it so bulky and heavy in my pocket, right? But I mean, again, I think it's a smart move going with the titanium finish. I think that's going to be the play this year. I think a lot of companies are going to do that. We're going to see that a lot. Because if Apple does it, everyone else does. Camera's still struggling with motion. I haven't seen anybody else mention that apart from Android Police in their review.
I missed that. What did you say?
The camera's struggling with motion, saying that like it's trying to capture things that are moving, but that's always been a Samsung issue, right?
Well, this is the original titanium phone.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
The Essential phone.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, obviously.
Yes.
I love that phone.
Oh, me too. I remember seeing the Essential phone in a Carrier store, and my fucking mind was blown.
That was in a Carrier store?
Yeah, it's because here in Canada, it was sold in Carrier stores, and seeing that on display was insane. Like it was like I'd never seen anything like that.
Well, and the phone came out to much fanfare, and it really fell flat with the cameras.
Yeah.
But they were on it. They was the only phone.
Yeah.
And the pogo pins. I had the 360 camera, and then I bought the HD DAC. Everything was great, and then just like Andy Rubin had to do some stupid and ruined everything. Anyways, we're off the topic.
But you know what's funny? The only other phone that's ever done that for me, where I've actually walked into a Carrier store and gone, oh my god, like I gotta have it, was the Note 10. Samsung Note 10. Now, do you remember the Samsung Note 10 had that flashy mirror-esque design?
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And look, I mean, at that point, I'd been using iPhones for a number of years. So when I saw this phone and I saw the big immersive screen, and I saw the the punch hole, it was a revelation. And I remember
it was a beautiful phone.
Yeah, I went and bought that literally a week or two after I'd seen that in store. And it was one of those very few moments in tech where I went, this is as good as it's going to get for smartphones in this generation. And, it's funny I bring this up because I was just reading an article today about, and I think someone posted this up, saying that this was the last time that they felt that Samsung had really kind of captured the market with something that was innovative instead of iterative.
Yeah, but what can slab phones do to be innovative? I know we're not the marketing geniuses, we're not the engineers, but what can you really do to make a phone? I mean, folding phones are great. I don't know I think I remember hearing you say this, but to me, I have the Pixel Fold. It isn't probably the most powerful. To me, it's my favorite folding phone. That's the only one I own now.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's the way to go.
No.
And I don't think slab phones are really going to do much. I think the Essential phone with the pogo pin was a great thing, but they died off too quick. They had all kinds of things they could have done with that. The charging dock and all
it was so beautiful, and so it was like small, powerful, efficient, weighty in all the right kinds of ways. Big bezels, like it was, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there who are probably still, custom ROMing the Essential phone.
Yeah. That thing was supported for a long. And then they had that Gem phone. They were gonna. Did you see the Gem phone that released?
Yeah, and then it never came out, right?
And that thing was weird. But I would have loved to buy that pro. I reached out to the company and said, "Hey, I know you're going out. Can I get a prototype?" And they back to me.
Well, and it's funny. I mean, we talked about this in the past, right? When it comes to tech, especially in the world of smartphones and stuff like that. I mean, what can you do? And I mean, I think this is where, like, I know we talked last week about the Rabbit R1. I almost feel like that's where we need to go, is something different. Yeah. And look, let's talk a little bit about
Rabbit, but the Humane Pin AI is up there too.
And the Humane. Sorry, I always forget about Humane Pin AI. I'm just waiting for Humane to be bought by Google, and then it's just going to become the Google AI.
Can I at least get a device before they get bought out? And
yeah, seriously.
I want to put my hand out and have the screen on my hand. All right.
Yeah.
Just one time.
Now, okay. Speaking of, I've lost my train of thought. Speaking of, devices that are changing the landscape. The Apple Vision Pro. So Apple Vision Pro was a big release, and people are now going into stores, picking them up themselves. But one of the things we need to talk about, and I was debating whether or not to bring this up. For those of you who may know some of the people we're going to mention, Jason and I are going to come at this from a largely neutral position. And there are some things that happened this week in social media, in particular surrounding one particular influencer who goes by the username The Man About Tech, Viper. Who, he's a very popular guy. He's been in the space for a very long time, has a lot of followers who tune in to his podcasts and his streams and all of that. But he posted a tweet.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So he did post a tweet, but before we go to that, explain a little bit more. So
yes,
he is a huge Apple guy. He always has been. He's been the voice of like tech for a while, but he doesn't have a large following. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. So his YouTube career has been kind of like meh, but it's more to the story than that. He has a big social media following, like Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram. And I think he's involved with vidIQ too. Like he does something with vidIQ. He's done YouTube creator content, all kinds of stuff. So he's not like he's nobody, but he is a huge fan of Apple and he wants to buy this Vision Pro. Okay. And he made a post that, hey, when it becomes available, I'm going to post every day for 30 days, a live stream, working up to the point where I actually get my hands on it. I'm going to buy it. And that's the impression I got. I didn't really follow it a whole lot, but that's the kind of impression I got, that he was going to live stream every day from the day he pre-ordered it about that. And then in listening to some of his live streams, it sounds like he's the everyday man who's going to purchase this. He's not rich. He's not over the top.
Yes.
He wants to show everyone the pros and cons from a normal, average person's experience. But where it got hazy was there was a post he made on X, and Darren, I'll let you finish that. He did make a post after this. I think it was, 3 days ago?
Yes, which has since been deleted.
Oh, really? Well, it's because he met something. That's why.
So here is a guy who, he's been in the tech space, and undoubtedly he's made enough connections and has enough clout, if you will, that you would think he is doing okay. And that's all I'll say. You would think he's in a position where he could probably afford to buy the Vision Pro himself. I don't know his personal situation, and I'm not going to make any claims about what I know and what I don't know. But my question is, so he posted on X asking the people who follow him on the platform to donate to a GoFundMe so that he could fund the purchase of this very expensive...
It wasn't GoFundMe. It was something similar.
Or something along those lines, right? Whatever. You get my point. But asking his followers to essentially fund the purchase of this particular device.
Correct.
Now, that undoubtedly rubbed some people the wrong way. And a lot of people were in a little bit of an outrage and were commenting and saying some pretty interesting things in response to this post.
So let me say a few things. Are you going to explain how you feel?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so he comes out and says, hey, I need funding for this new device, and I want, if I get the funding, please help me out. I will make tons of content. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not trying to be mean towards this gentleman, this guy, who whatever, he's built a career for himself, whatever. I felt kind of like, wow, he got me all hyped up about these videos, and then he comes out and says, oh, by the way, I need you to buy it for me.
Yes.
So initially I was kind of like, turned off, like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I don't want to do this. It's not for me. And a lot of people agreed, but a lot more harsh. To me, it's like, okay, I don't agree with this, but you do your own damn thing. If people want to give you the money, hell, why not? But people came out pretty harsh on him, and right or wrong, it's not for me to decide. And I'm not going to share. We're not going to share those posts because they got pretty
No.
nasty. But and then I kind of watched, and if he's watching this, maybe he'll get mad. Maybe I don't know. So he posted a video right after, that every day after that.
Yeah,
Within-
yeah, stream.
within-
Yeah, he's
within
doing
24
streams
hours.
every day.
And
Yeah.
he kind of said, like, I don't care, I'm doing what I'm doing. And he was getting loud, mad, and using profanity, which not a big deal. My thing is, I would have posted a video, like I said I was going to do for 30 days. I wouldn't even address those comments. Because by doing that, he says, oh, I don't care, I don't care. Well, you do care because you're addressing the situation right now.
Yeah.
To me, I don't. And maybe and the responses I get from a lot of people in the community watching his stuff, they say, oh, everyone in the tech community does this. They ask for money to do this. From what I've read, what me and Darren have discussed, a lot of YouTubers will do this for charity, not for themselves.
Yes.
I'm a YouTuber, but I'm tiny. I'm a nobody. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. So I pay for everything.
Click the button.
Well, and I know, Darren, you're working on your things too, but it's like, even the fact that I'm tiny, I don't think I would use my platform to buy something for myself, whether it's content or not. Now, if I got big to the point where I was having an income, having Google AdSense pay me, having merchandise, sponsorships, that's a totally different story. Use that money for what you want. But I don't know, begging kind of seems bad. And the reason why I think the biggest thing that hit me in the face, and I'm sorry I keep going on, is I've been watching this guy for a while, not 100% like staring at him, but here he's been mentioned
From a distance.
Well, he's been like he's been around a lot. So
Yeah,
it's not like
he's well
unknown.
known in the space. Yeah.
And when I saw this, I was like, what the hell? This guy is the one that drives around and goes to Starbucks every day, and now he's asking for $3,500. Now, from what I understand, he met that goal, kind of said, ha ha ha, in your face, and then pulled that post. I could be wrong.
Yes.
I'm not Viper. But either way, I mean, he is a unique character, and he's got a long following, but I'm kind of, I don't know.
So I'll just.
I know Seth just said, "Oh, Starbucks is $4 or $5 a coffee." I mean, technically, you go buy one coffee a week at Starbucks, you could buy that damn thing. I mean, I'm not going to ask people to give me a PayPal check so I can go buy my. So I made a comment. If you guys are listening, I'm going to start a fund. I'm going to buy a Cybertruck. I need you guys. No, I know it's a big difference, but I will make content every day once I get that truck. Believe me. But no one's going to pay me a damn time.
See, this is where I have an issue. How do I put this? How do I phrase this properly?
Hey, you just say what you want. We're your tech disruptors.
Okay, so sorry,
I drink Folgers.
Yeah. My problem is that when somebody says, I'm going to be buying this so I can make content on it, I understand that. I get it, sure, but you're asking people to fund what is essentially a hobby for most people, a very expensive purchase from people who maybe don't have enough money themselves, or maybe they do. But the point I'm getting at is that, how much content are you going to make? Are you going to make $3,500 worth of content? And what does that look like? Like doing a live stream every day for 30 days? Fuck off. That's nothing. You hit one fucking button, you start speaking, and it's done. Look, I'll admit, this podcast is very well put together.
Hold on. He's talking about after he gets the device, he will do a hands-on, which is fine. Yeah. We all have to do that. And I'm under the subscription level where I don't even get AdSense. So I'm not getting paid anything. I'm paying out of my pocket. But the difference is if he wants to do that more, for me, it feels wrong. Like, hey, I've got 900 subscribers, let's say, and I reach out on Twitter and I say, hey, got a YouTube channel. I want to buy the new S24.
Yeah.
Which is not $3,500. It's $1,000, let's say. I want to do a lot of content. Can you guys please buy it for me? I'd feel terrible doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's me. So,
But I mean, and this is, and look, what it boils down to is, so he gets this device. You just helped fund someone's tech purchase.
Sure.
You didn't buy him a kidney. You didn't buy him a liver. You didn't buy him emergency surgery. You didn't donate to a charity. You just funded somebody's purchase of tech. Get that in your head.
Right.
This is the problem that I have. You are donating money to someone who just wanted to buy something that he wanted, not needed.
Yes, once and needed.
And that's the problem. And listen, I'm sorry, I will never hold my tongue about something like this. And I don't care if it pisses him off. I don't care if it pisses off his subscribers. You just funded the purchase of some stupid tech product that honestly means nothing to him. It doesn't. He just wants it. He doesn't need it. It's not curing his cancer.
You see this. This is kind of hard to believe coming from Viper because he's actually streaming right now with Zach Talks Tech or Zach, whatever his name is, from Canada as well.
Yes, well, that's fine, yeah.
But, and I don't want to piss him off. We all have opinions. But what blows my mind is then he has the gall to go onto a live stream and scream at people like, you don't know anything, you're an idiot, like, you asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude? You got people paying you to buy this thing. Forget about who's calling you names. Who cares?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I'm a grown-ass man. When I was in high school, I cared people thought I wore, Nike, whatever the popular thing is. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't give a crap what people think of me. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be professional, all that stuff, but I don't know. I get what you're saying.
It's just not classy.
If we had King on here, which I think we lost him here in the stream here, but if he was on here, he made some pretty... He made some tweets I probably wouldn't have made because I think what we're saying is we
very
disagree,
honest.
But we're not cussing out and calling out his family. I didn't think someone of his caliber, and I don't mean it in a bad way. Like I didn't think this would come from him, which is kind of strange.
Yes. And look, I mean, that's the issue I have, right? Like, OnlyFans would be cheaper. Yeah. Well, I, honestly, and I mean, look, I'm not going to say anything more about this. I don't think it was very classy. If you were someone that donated money to this, you're stupid. You ask for your money back. You funded someone's impromptu tech.
Well, here's what's funny. How much do you want to bet? He paid for it already. He put it on his credit card, and they just paid off his credit card.
That's exactly what it happened.
Yeah. Like, it's not like, hey, guys, it's going to be pre-order on the 19th? A week before, hey, I want to buy it. Even though it's still wrong, at least you'd say, hey, I haven't purchased this yet. I want to pre-order it 19th. Can you guys can we raise $3,500? Yeah. But no, he waited till after the pre-order time and then asked for it. I don't know. If that makes even a difference. I don't even know. So when the Honor Magic 6 Pro is available globally, I am going to try this and see what happens. So
we're going to both try it.
It's a PayPal thing. So I looked at PayPal Donate. And you know what I found out? Charity. It's all about charity. 403B or whatever, nonprofit stuff. And I'm like, okay, how did he even figure out how to do this? But I'm sure I'm just not looking in the right place because I didn't want to try it. I wanted to see how easy it was because it seemed like it's pretty easy to do this. And I'm looking right now on my phone, and he's streaming right now live with, Zach Talks Tech right now. And I just tagged both of them in our stream, so...
Nice. Look, I'm not going to say anything more about this. I think, at the end of the day, we've said our piece. It was a dumbass thing to do. If you donated, you're also a dumbass. You just essentially bought someone a piece of tech. He is not going to give you your return. Sorry. You're not going to get $3,500 or however much money you donated back. You're just not. And I can
but you know who benefits? He does.
Yes, exactly.
His card is paid off, and he gets a device that's $3,500, whether it takes off or not.
Exactly. Okay, well, we're going to just change focus now. Now, last but not least, this week...
Can I say one more thing about the Vision Pro?
Sure.
And I saw an article on this. It's nothing to do with Viper or any of that stuff. So, you see this little cable right here hanging off the side?
Yes.
So, I don't know if you were going here. It sounds like Apple was full. They were asking, when they had these curated visits to test the device, they were told these individuals, you are not to take pictures, only our photographer can take these pictures. And there's a battery pack that kind of hangs off, and they were cut out through Photoshop. or not included in the photo
Ah.
because it's ugly. And what's funny is you could see now after that came out, is people are talking about these neck USB-C batteries that go on your neck, which
Yes.
is a hell of a lot nicer.
Yes.
So it's again, what is Apple? What are they hiding? Something's not right. We're going to
Yes.
charge $3,500. We're going to curate visits. We're going to cut out battery packs. And
What are they hiding?
well, and hey, if you want to donate money, you can buy me one.
Yeah, exactly.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
I don't know.
if we
I
sell
agree with
enough,
you.
it ain't. If it's not Apple, it ain't shit shirts. If we
Yes.
sell those, we'll buy. Look, if you buy our shirt, if you want these shirts, we'll make them. We'll get an Apple Pro, Vision Pro, and we'll tell you all about it. We'll wear them on the stream.
Yeah, I'll wear the T-shirt and the Apple Vision Pro.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, really quickly, last but not least, OnePlus 12. OnePlus are back, man.
Yes.
They're back. They're here. And listen,
Well,
I know we
are
talked a
they?
lot. Well, I don't know. Listen,
It's a mixed bag.
I've got it. This is my main SIM. My main SIM.
Whoa,
is
hold
in
on.
this-
What color is that?
This
Oh,
is the
that's right.
black
Never mind.
one.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Forget what I just said. Yeah, right. You got the black one.
Yes, and Jason is getting the green one very soon. But
There you go.
one thing, I saw this article on The Verge, and I think they summed up perfectly why the OnePlus 12 could be the phone of the year.
Mhm.
It is just a really good, solid, dependable device.
And who else does a very solid, dependable, everyday phone? The Samsung.
Google.
Well,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
Google excels with Google excels with their cameras, and they're known for
Yes,
their cameras.
correct.
Samsung kind of gets lost because they're out the first of the year, but everyone seems,
Yes.
oh, well, you know what? Yeah, Google's fine, iPhone's fine, but that Samsung is so versatile, and I think this is where the OnePlus has stepped up. It's not like a
Yeah.
huge innovation. They have fantastic cameras,
Yep.
depending on who you talk to, and it's got everything. It's got super fast wireless charging that no one else has. The only
Yep.
thing I wish they would have done, and you have the other phone sitting over there, the sister phone, they should have made that the
Yeah.
OnePlus.
Yes.
That would have been fantastic. But either
Well-
way, I love OnePlus phones. I've
Yes.
always loved OnePlus phones, but no one knows about them. That's the problem. They need more They need to spend more money on marketing. And if you read
Yeah.
my article that's coming out next week,
Yes.
you'll kind of see why that is. But we'll talk about that later.
But no, look, I mean, like you're right. I think the OnePlus 12, like I've used it now for probably most of this week.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised at how much I like it, and I don't know. It's hard to pin
Now,
down
hold on.
exactly what
Is
it
the
is.
embargo lifted? Can you talk about it?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
26th
okay.
it ended on today.
Oh, okay.
Or
nice.
yesterday, sorry, 25th. Yeah. Now, I'm actually surprised at how much I like it, but it's also one of those things it's hard to explain. But I think it is because it's refreshingly basic. Like everything just works and
the
works very
software.
well.
Everything I've seen,
Yes.
I don't own it. You had it. The software is like they did something with they called it the Trinity engine or whatever. It's bull
Yes.
crap. But Apple is they're smooth. They're not always the fastest because software integrates with the hardware seamlessly.
Yes.
And somehow OnePlus has figured out how to do this with the last few years. And
Yes.
from what I've seen, it's amazingly smooth and super
Yeah.
fast.
Listen,
it just slides.
yeah, it's very, like it's not going to come up on screen because we're at 60 frames a second here or 30 frames a second. But one thing I will say, and they've nailed it. And there's one thing, and you're going to be surprised by this. There's one thing that has blown my mind.
Are you
So
gonna
when
tell me, or are you gonna wait till I?
I'm gonna tell you because you're gonna end up changing this on yours. I won't
Oh.
say much. I won't talk about the cameras. They are very, very good. Like S24 Ultra good, but we won't come back to that. The haptics. So when I got the phone, you have two options of haptics.
I've heard about this.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So one is crisp, which is very poppy. That's the best
Which
way I
app?
would describe it.
Okay.
And there's one that's a little bit more subtle. I forget the name of it, but making that one simple change makes the whole typing haptic experience remarkably
Okay.
better.
So, do you prefer the vibration when you type?
Yes, I like
do
to feel
too,
it, but
and I can't
yes.
stand iPhones for that damn reason.
yes. So
But yes,
I am
I do like
shocked at how how much of a change it made. It feels smooth. It feels fluid, like when you're typing now. I'm trying to find the name of it because for the life
Well,
of me,
but while you're looking for it, they call
yeah.
it refreshingly basic. Here's the big thing that OnePlus didn't do, which is probably in their best interest. Nothing about AI. And it's got the
Yes.
Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which has
Yes.
that AI Neuro processor, but they didn't say much about it. And who cares? And
Exactly.
if they're smart, they'll work with Google and get a lot of that stuff that Samsung and Google already has, and you just kind of
Yeah.
integrate it silently, and you have the same damn thing. And I'm not sure it's going to happen with Oxygen. Was it not Oxygen? Is it Oxygen OS?
Yeah.
Is it Oxygen? Okay. So I don't know.
Okay.
I'm excited about this phone. I like the
Yeah.
11 too. And the Hasselblad stuff, I don't really care. But the cameras look amazing.
That honestly, so after using the Find N3, after using and just playing with this monster right here, I'm gonna put this out there. The OnePlus 12 cameras are as good as these.
So what I've heard is the cameras are terrible. I shouldn't say. I'm sorry. They're hum ho. Like okay, they're okay. They're not.
No.
And that's the only thing holding it back. That's most of the reviews say. And I will agree that every OnePlus I ever had muted tones, but it's because
Yes.
it's natural. It's not
Yes.
oversaturated like or Apple, or I'm sorry, Samsung, or very
Yes.
warm like iPhone. But either
Yes.
way, I'm excited for this phone. I really want to get it in my hands. But I will tell you, the phone I really want to try is the Vivo X100 Pro with the Dimensity 9300, because I'm a big fan of MediaTek, what they've been doing, because I got the OnePlus
Yeah.
Pad and it's got the 9000, and that thing it's not as fast as whatever, but it seems as fast as anything out there right now. So
Listen,
if we can get
it's-
Vivo to give us one of
Yeah.
these phones for the live stream, I would love to do a review and show it off on screen and whatever they want.
Well, listen, it was called Gentle Haptics. It's their own
Gentle.
haptics that's
Okay.
bled into it, and those are very nice. I know, I should have known that, right?
So wait, you
Gentle-
like not the Gentle, you like the other option.
No, I like the Gentle version. So the other one, the
Really?
Crisp, I find too poppy and too.
See, I think I like the
Loud?
Poppy, but I guess we'll find out when I
Yeah.
see it.
I don't know. And listen, I know that's such a redundant thing a reason to like a phone, but it makes a difference to how you type, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it. It's smooth. It's fast. But just on the AI things, and I'm going to show you one thing, and then we'll wrap up. So on the OnePlus, you have the option to select your own wallpaper. Now they do have this. I don't know if you can see this on screen, but they do have this really nifty thing. So I'm just going to pull up a random image in my album. Let's just say this one right here. So let me stop sharing. Hang on, wait a second. Oh, no, hang on. Don't want to do that. There we go. Okay, so this image right here. Now,
Oh.
I caught this. I didn't see this in the live stream. They didn't mention this. But there's a little button there. I don't know if you can see that on screen. Right there. Little gray button.
Yeah, okay.
Right here.
It kind of towards the middle, above that white
Yeah.
bar.
So when you click this button, it takes colors from the wallpaper and generates your own of about 5 or 6 different wallpapers that fit
Okay.
the colors in that.
But this is what I'm saying. Google does a very similar thing where they can generate AI wallpapers. So,
Yes.
Well, this is why I think OnePlus needs to step up a little bit.
Yes.
They have the chops. They have the hardware. They have the cameras. They have the corporations,
Yes.
the Hasselblads. If they would say, hey, we have AI. We're utilizing Google's AI in our Android. Because you know damn well Google's going to be
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah.
I think, and they do some carrier deals. I mean, it's going to be a little while. But that's the reason why you're getting a phone for $800. Because
Exactly.
they're
Yeah.
not investing millions and millions, at least not in the U.S. and North America, in marketing. I don't know if they're doing it overseas, but when OnePlus first started, they prided themselves on community. Everyone who
Yes.
I bought the first OnePlus that ever came out. It was like $399 or $2.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was part of something, and that's what Xiaomi
Yes.
does. Google's
Yep.
doing that with Pixel Superfans. iPhone, they don't have that. They just you put an
Just-
Apple on
just
Apple
buy
on
it.
anything, and you have to buy it. So
Yeah. Well, look, I will say this much, and Michael's in the chat here. He just said if you don't think the OnePlus cameras are good, you should never be allowed to touch a phone again ever. Look, I'll be honest with you. I
agree.
have the Oppo Find N3, which has the same camera
Okay.
sensor, is the main lens. This is better. It's very, very good.
Do you think it's
Low li-
software or space?
No, I think it's got something to do with maybe the lenses that they chose.
Lenses. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Because you have more. They
Yeah.
may have 6 or 7 more lenses. Okay.
Yeah. So the cameras are, I'm going to say, as good as the S24 Ultra. And I mean that. Even at a 10 times zoom and a 5 times zoom, it's very, very, very good. Look, I'll leave it there. OnePlus 12, great phone. We'll have more to say about it next week. Jason should have his by then, so that's the good news.
Well, we'll see.
Well, they said 5 days when I sent it to you, so we'll see. 5 days. 5 days.
Okay.
Which is in Canadian time 25, but he's like,
Yeah.
It's coming by geese. But anyway,
Canadian geese. Come on.
Canadian geese. They fly the other way. So on that note, we are going to leave it there for today. This is Jason. My name is Darren, and we are the Tech Disruptors. And thank you very much for everyone that's joining us. We are live on YouTube every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We are also on X. You can find us as Disruptors 2024 on X. And we also have an Instagram account, which is also, I believe, Tech Disruptors or Disruptors or something along those lines, which we will regularly post on. The last post I put was just a photo of me and Jason. So we will actually get more on top of that. But listen, thank you very much. Reach out and let us know what you thought about our new theme song. Reach out and let us know what you think about tonight's show. We really appreciate any feedback and comments you guys give us, and we will be back next week. So signing off, thank you very much, and we will catch you on the next one.